Oh, Los Losos Valley Road. It was right somewhere out this direction. I'm going to guess right here. Some of these other images are already tagged, but I still have a few more to tag. Now here I have some images that were shot at the South Tufas, is what the area is known as. And so I don't feel like zooming out and scrolling over and zooming back in to try to find it. So in the upper right, I can try to search for things. So the South Tufas, first I can go south, see if I spell it right. I've never had to spell the word tufa. Tufas. And I believe that's in California. Let's see if it brings anything up. Or if it doesn't bring me right to where I want to go, it's by Mono Lake. There we go, Mono Lake. And the South Tufas would probably be on the south end, do you think? And they're probably right about here. I'll plunk those in. All right, so now if I look through everything that's in the film strip, I think I have that GPS icon for each one. Yeah, some of them even that I didn't have to put on there manually, like we just looked at. So now I can hide that strip, and if I zoom out much further, should be able to see more stuff that I've put in because they're in various locations. And what's nice is if you notice that this little badge that has a number on it tells me the number of photos. If I mouse over it, you get a preview of one of the photos. Tells me I have 19 of them, and I can arrow through them with this little arrow icon to see all of them. If I continue to zoom up, you notice that the bottom of this little badge doesn't have a triangle on it. If you compare these two badges, you notice this has a triangle like that. This one over here doesn't. And I believe what that means is that this is one location that has 6 photographs. But over here it's multiple locations that has 19. So if I zoom up and I zoom up far enough, watch what happens to that one badge. It starts breaking into 2. And this one doesn't have a triangle underneath it, which tells me there's more than one location that that represents. So I keep zooming up until all of them have a little triangle under them. And once they do, then I know they're not going to be able to break apart into multiple locations again. This one might be ridiculous because I was walking up and down the beach, and so it's going to tell you I was right over here in the surf shooting horses. And so I can see where I shot each one. So if you want to use the map and you want to make it the least painful implementation of the map, then what you'd like to get is what I have in my hand. In my hand is a small GPS unit. And this one is made by Canon, because I shoot a Canon camera. I have a Canon, oops, this isn't it. I thought it was. It comes in a very similar little pouch to this. It goes in the same part of my camera, but this isn't it. It wouldn't have a screen. But it's very similar to this. You put it on where the hot shoe of your camera is, where you usually put a flash, and you can put a GPS up there. Canon makes one, and if I turn it on when I'm out shooting, it will automatically geotag all of my photographs, as long as I remember to turn it on. And that's what happened over here when it gave me 2 different positions out on the beach with the horses. I didn't put those in manually. It did it automatically. And so if I were to have more of my recently shot images in here, you would find many more locations on the map because it's doing it for me automatically. And so that's the best way to do it. A secondary way you can do it is if you have a smartphone, like an iPhone, Android, you can download inexpensive apps that do geotagging, what it's called. And what they will do is if when you turn them on, it will start recording your location like once a minute. And if you're out shooting, then what you can do is you can take that information that your phone would record about where your location was once a minute, and you give it to Lightroom. And Lightroom will compare the time that you're at a particular location to the time you took a photo on your camera. And it can take the data from your